In this InDesign video, I want to talk about bleeds and slugs, particularly as it pertains to document setup. So here, the color of this image here is actually touching the edge of the paper. So if we're actually sending this to print, this is not allowed. We actually have to make it larger than the paper, and then it would get cut down. So once you're inside of here, what we want to do is go to File and then Document Setup. Document Setup, remember, has a lot of the same information that you do when you do File New Document. Okay, and then down here, if we scroll towards the bottom, you have your margins. That's, how close you get to the edge of the paper. But here, what we want to do is do 0.125, which is an eighth of an inch. And once I hit tab, it actually adds them across all of them here because of this chain link. Okay, make all the settings the same. Go ahead and click OK. Now you can see this red border here is my bleed here. So to do this properly and correctly, what we want to do is we're going to increase now our frame of our image to actually go all the way up to our bleed size. And when I click the frame, you can actually see how much image is still saved inside. Okay. So now this is set up properly for a bleed. So the document needs to go out to the red to the bleed area. And then if I zoom in, you'll see there's the trim line where the actual document will get trimmed. So make sure you set up your bleeds properly. The other thing is the slug. Slug is also outside of the document area. So document setup and then the slug. And we're going to go ahead and let's just do a 0.5 inch slug. And I don't need it at the top. Actually, I'm going to put that down to 0. I'm just going to do a 0.5 inch along the bottom and click OK. Now, once I go down here, that's this blue area here. You see, I'd have to add it an eighth of an inch to the sides also to get it to line up perfectly. But down here is where you're going to put any type of information. Client name, for example, would be a great thing to include. So client name, just to make it easier when it's on the press run, your name, client name, agency. This is also where you can do a lot of your Pantone color swatches, any information that you need. It is going to get cropped out. It's outside even the bleed area. So it is going to get cropped out, but it's a good way to actually label and keep an eye on all of your colors as it's going through the press. Okay, so now that that's set up, we can move on with our design.